Hello, Capricorn. I just sat down with your cards and I need to tell you something important. The energy coming through right now is absolutely electric. I'm feeling this massive shift happening for you, like the universe has been holding its breath and is finally ready to exhale this incredible blessing directly into your life. What I'm picking up is not just small changes or minor improvements. This is about something genuinely superior entering your world, something that elevates everything you've been building. And here's what's really fascinating. The timing on this feels sudden, like it arrives at the last possible second when you might have almost given up hope. But that's exactly when the magic happens for you, Capricorn. You're stepping into what I can only describe as a golden era, and these cards are showing me exactly how this unfolds. This is a general reading for entertainment purposes, so take what resonates with your situation and leave what doesn't. I'm interpreting the energy I see in these cards, and what I'm seeing is truly remarkable. Let me walk you through what's coming. The first card I pulled is the Page of Cups, and honestly, when this showed up, I felt this wave of emotional renewal wash over the reading. This page is standing at the edge of possibility, holding a cup with a fish inside, representing something precious and unexpected emerging from your emotional waters. What I'm picking up here is that you're receiving news or an opportunity that touches your heart in a way you didn't anticipate. This isn't about logic or strategy right now. This is about your soul recognizing something it's been waiting for. The Page of Cups represents the beginning of an emotional or creative cycle, and for you, Capricorn, this is significant because you don't always let yourself dream or hope freely. You're practical, grounded, focused on what's real and tangible. But this card is telling me that what's coming requires you to open your heart to possibilities that might seem too good to be true. The fish in the cup symbolizes messages from your subconscious, intuitive hits about what's next. I'm sensing that you might receive news through an unexpected channel, maybe a younger person, a message that arrives out of the blue, or information that comes when you're in a relaxed, receptive state. This could manifest as a creative opportunity, a romantic gesture, an emotional connection that feels pure and genuine, or even a financial offer that appeals to your heart, not just your wallet. What's really interesting here is that this page carries innocent energy, uncorrupted by cynicism or past disappointment. The universe is asking you to receive what's coming with an open heart. Don't analyze it to death. Don't immediately look for what could go wrong. Just receive it. Feel it. Let yourself be genuinely excited about something again. Your practical nature serves you well, but right now, childlike wonder and emotional authenticity are your superpowers. This is the first whisper of your golden era. It starts with you believing that something beautiful is actually possible for you. Next, I pulled the King of Cups, and this energy completely shifted the reading into something even more powerful. When this card appeared right after the page, I immediately understood. What starts as a sweet possibility becomes something solid, mature, and deeply fulfilling. The King of Cups sits on his throne in the middle of turbulent waters, completely calm and in control of his emotions. He's mastered the emotional realm without being swept away by it. For you, Capricorn, this represents either a person entering your life or you stepping into this energy yourself. If this is a person, they're emotionally intelligent, successful, deeply caring, and they know how to navigate life's challenges without losing their center. This could be a romantic partner, a business mentor, a supportive friend, or even a client or collaborator who brings both emotional fulfillment and practical benefits. What I'm really picking up is that this person or energy doesn't just make you feel good. They actually help you build something lasting. The King of Cups isn't about fleeting emotions or unstable connections. This is about depth, commitment, and genuine care paired with real-world capability. If this card represents you stepping into this energy, it means you're mastering the balance between your feelings and your ambitions. You're learning to lead with both your head and your heart. You're becoming someone who can stay grounded during emotional storms, who can offer support without losing yourself, who can build empire without sacrificing soul. What's coming feels like a mature blessing, not the chaotic, unstable kind of good fortune that disappears as quickly as it arrives. This is something you can actually count on. This is something that grows stronger with time. The King of Cups also suggests creative or spiritual fulfillment alongside material success. You're not just achieving goals anymore. You're creating a life that actually feels good to live. And that's the golden era energy I'm talking about. It's not just about having more. It's about being more at peace, more fulfilled, more aligned with who you actually are beneath all the goals and responsibilities. The Page of Swords came through next, and this card brings sharp, clear mental energy that cuts through any confusion or uncertainty you might be experiencing. When I pulled this, I felt this jolt of clarity, like suddenly being able to see through fog that's been obscuring your path. The Page of Swords stands ready, with sword raised, alert, and curious, ready to pursue truth no matter where it leads. What this tells me is that you're about to receive information that changes everything. This could be discovering the truth about a situation you've been unsure about, getting answers you've been seeking, or suddenly understanding something that's been puzzling you. The energy here is investigative and fearless. This page doesn't care about comfortable lies or pretty illusions. This page wants the truth, and you're going to get it. For some of you, this might mean uncovering deception or seeing through someone's facade. For others, it means gaining clarity about your own path forward, understanding exactly what you need to do next. What I'm sensing strongly is that this information arrives quickly and unexpectedly. That last-second timing the universe seems to favor with you right now. You might have been operating on assumptions or incomplete information, and suddenly everything becomes crystal clear. This could manifest through a conversation that reveals someone's true intentions, research that uncovers crucial details, or an intuitive hit that connects all the dots. The Page of Swords also represents intellectual courage and the willingness to speak your truth even when it's uncomfortable. You're finding your voice in a new way. You're no longer willing to stay silent about things that matter. You're asking the hard questions. You're demanding real answers. And this mental clarity, this truth-seeking energy, is actually part of what brings your superior blessing. Because when you operate from truth instead of illusion, when you make decisions based on what's real instead of what you wish were true, you position yourself to receive blessings that actually fit your life. You're not chasing fantasies anymore. You're building on solid ground. And that's when the universe can really deliver something magnificent. The Wheel of Fortune arrived next, and honestly, Capricorn, when this card showed up, I felt the entire energy of the reading elevate. This is one of the most powerful cards in the deck, representing fate, destiny, and major turning points. The wheel is always spinning, and right now it's turning in your favor in a massive way. What I'm picking up is that you're experiencing a karmic payoff for everything you've been through. All the hard work, all the patience, all the times you kept going when others would have quit, it's all coming back to you now, multiplied. The Wheel of Fortune represents cycles completing and new, better cycles beginning. You're not just getting lucky. You're receiving what you've actually earned through your dedication and integrity. This card appearing in this reading confirms what I've been feeling. You are absolutely stepping into a golden era. This isn't temporary. This isn't a brief moment of good fortune. This is a fundamental shift in your life trajectory. Things that have been stuck are moving. Opportunities that seemed impossible are opening up. People and resources are appearing exactly when you need them. What's really powerful about the wheel is that it operates on divine timing, not human timing. This is why some of your blessings feel last minute. They're arriving at the exact moment they're supposed to, not a second earlier or later. The universe has been arranging pieces behind the scenes, moving people and circumstances into alignment, waiting for the perfect moment to deliver. And that moment is now. For some of you, this could manifest as a sudden promotion, an unexpected financial windfall, a relationship that transforms your life, or an opportunity that seems to come out of nowhere but changes everything. The symbols on the wheel, the Sphinx, the snake, Anubis, represent different aspects of wisdom, transformation, and judgment. You're being elevated not just materially, but spiritually. You're understanding life at a deeper level. You're seeing patterns you couldn't see before. And this awareness itself attracts even more blessings because you're finally ready to receive them wisely. The Two of Swords appeared, and initially this might seem like a pause or a moment of indecision. But what I'm actually picking up is very different. The figure in this card sits blindfolded, holding two swords crossed over their heart, water behind them representing emotion. What this is showing me is that you're being asked to make a choice, but not from a place of fear or pressure. This is about choosing between two good options or deciding which path forward serves your highest good. The blindfold represents removing bias and seeing beyond surface appearances. You might be weighing a decision right now that feels significant. Do I stay or do I go? Do I choose security or potential? Do I follow my head or my heart? What the cards are telling me is that you need to remove external pressures and other people's opinions from this decision. This has to be your choice, made from your center, based on what you genuinely want. The crossed swords over the heart suggest protecting yourself emotionally while you deliberate. You don't have to rush this. You don't have to let anyone pressure you into choosing before you're ready. What I'm sensing is that this moment of careful consideration is actually part of your blessing. Because when you choose consciously, when you really examine what you want and why you want it, you make decisions that lead to lasting satisfaction. Some of you might be choosing between two opportunities that both seem promising. Others might be deciding whether to commit to something or someone, whether to invest your resources in a particular direction, whether to make a big life change. The Two of Swords is telling you that the answer is within you. Your intuition knows, your heart knows. You just need to get quiet enough to hear it. And here's what's really important. Neither choice is wrong. Both paths have potential. This isn't about making a perfect decision. This is about making an authentic one. When you choose from your truth, the universe supports that choice and brings circumstances into alignment with it. This is part of how something superior arrives, through your willingness to choose wisely, consciously, authentically. The Queen of Wands came blazing through next, and the energy shifted immediately into something bold, confident, and absolutely radiant. This queen sits on her throne holding a sunflower, a black cat at her feet, completely secure in her power and magnetism. When I pulled this card, I felt this surge of creative fire and personal sovereignty. What this tells me is that you're stepping into your own power in a whole new way. You're done playing small. You're done doubting yourself. You're done waiting for permission to be who you actually are. The Queen of Wands represents charisma, creativity, independence, and the ability to manifest your vision through sheer force of will and magnetic presence. For you, Capricorn, this is particularly significant because you sometimes hide your light under a bushel of responsibility and practicality. You focus so much on doing the right thing, meeting expectations, being responsible, that you forget you're also allowed to shine, to create, to express, to be magnetic and attractive in your own right. This card is telling me that part of your golden era involves you reclaiming this fiery, confident, creative energy. You're becoming more visible. You're attracting attention and opportunities through your authentic self-expression. You're not trying to fit into anyone else's box anymore. The sunflower represents turning toward your own light, growing tall and bright without apology. The black cat represents intuition and independence. You're trusting your instincts and walking your own path. What this might look like practically is you starting a creative project that excites you, stepping into leadership naturally and confidently, attracting romantic interest through your authentic energy, or building something that reflects your true passions and values. People are noticing you differently now. There's something magnetic about your energy. You're not trying to impress anyone, and paradoxically, that's when you become most impressive. The Queen of Wands also suggests that you're balancing multiple projects or interests with grace and enthusiasm. You're not overwhelmed by your ambitions, you're energized by them. And this passionate, purposeful energy is actually what calls in your superior blessing. Because when you're aligned with your truth and operating from your power, you become a magnet for everything meant for you. The Five of Cups appeared next, and I know this might look concerning at first glance, but stay with me because what I'm picking up is actually profound and necessary. This figure stands looking at 3 spilled cups, mourning what's been lost, while 2 full cups stand behind them unnoticed. What this card is showing me is not about loss itself, but about releasing what needs to be released so something superior can arrive. You might be processing some disappointment right now, grieving something that didn't work out the way you hoped, or feeling sad about doors that closed, and the cards are telling me, yes, feel that, honor that. Let yourself grieve what's gone, but don't get stuck there. Because while you're focused on what didn't work, what you lost, what failed, there are blessings standing right behind you, waiting for you to turn around and notice them. The Five of Cups represents a necessary emotional clearing. You're releasing old dreams that no longer serve you, letting go of relationships or situations that have run their course, mourning the version of yourself you can no longer be. This isn't failure. This is evolution. This is making room. What I'm strongly sensing is that you needed these disappointments to redirect you toward something better. If certain things had worked out, you would have settled for less than you deserve. You would have stayed in situations that limited you. The universe had to close those doors, had to let those cups spill, so you could be available for what's actually meant for you. And here's what's really powerful. Those 2 cups standing behind you represent new opportunities, new connections, new possibilities that are already present in your life, but you haven't fully recognized yet because you're still processing the loss. The message here is clear. Grieve, release, then turn around. Look at what's actually here. Look at what's still possible. Look at the blessings that survived the disappointment. Some of you are going to realize that what you thought was the end was actually the beginning. What felt like loss was actually liberation. What seemed like failure was actually redirection towards something infinitely better. And that's when something superior can truly arrive, when you've created space for it by releasing what no longer fits. The Ace of Cups came through next, and honestly, when this appeared after the Five of Cups, I felt tears well up because the message is so beautiful. The Ace of Cups is the universe's cup overflowing with love, emotional fulfillment, new beginnings in relationships, creative inspiration, and spiritual connection. This is the card of grace, of unexpected blessings poured directly into your heart. What this tells me is that after the releasing and grieving represented by the Five of Cups, you're receiving something brand new and absolutely beautiful. This is the superior gift arriving. This is the golden era manifesting. The Ace of Cups represents a fresh start in your emotional life, but it's so much more than that. This is about your heart opening again after being closed, your faith being restored after disappointment, your ability to love and trust and hope being renewed at the deepest level. For some of you, this is a new relationship entering your life. And I'm not just talking romantic, though for many of you, it is. This could be a friendship that nourishes your soul, a creative partnership that inspires you, a spiritual connection that transforms you. For others, this is about falling back in love with your life, with yourself, with your purpose. The cup overflowing with water represents abundance that you didn't have to force or manufacture. This is given to you. This is grace. This is the universe saying, you've been through enough, here's something beautiful just because you deserve it. What I'm picking up strongly is that this blessing touches your heart in a way that material success alone never could. This makes you feel alive again. This reminds you why you're here. This fills something in you that's been empty for too long. The dove descending into the cup represents Holy Spirit, divine love, higher purpose. You're connecting to something greater than yourself. You're remembering that you're not alone in this journey. You're being supported, guided, loved by forces you can't always see but can definitely feel. This ace appearing in your reading confirms absolutely that something superior is coming. And it's not just changing your circumstances, it's changing your heart. The Nine of Swords showed up next, and I need to address this directly because I know this card can look scary. The figure sits up in bed, head in hands, 9 swords hanging on the wall behind them. This represents anxiety, worry, sleepless nights, mental torment. But here's what I'm picking up about why this card is in your reading. This is about the fear that tries to stop you from receiving your blessing. This is the worry and doubt that creeps in right before your breakthrough. What the cards are showing me is that you might be experiencing anxiety about what's coming. Maybe you're worried you don't deserve it. Maybe you're afraid it won't actually happen. Maybe you're concerned about what you'll lose or how your life will change. Maybe you're doubting whether you can handle the responsibility of the superior blessing that's arriving. And the cards are saying, these are just thoughts. These are not truth. These worries are not prophecies. The Nine of Swords often represents fears that are worse in our minds than in reality. Notice that in the card, the figure is in bed, suggesting these anxieties are strongest in the middle of the night when you're alone with your thoughts. But dawn is coming. The nightmare ends. The swords on the wall are just symbols. They have no real power unless you give it to them. What I'm sensing is that you need to recognize these fears for what they are. Your mind's last attempt to keep you safe by keeping you small. Your ego's resistance to the transformation that's happening. The part of you that's terrified of actually getting what you want because then you'd have to step up and become who you're meant to be. But here's the thing, the blessing is coming anyway. Your golden era is arriving whether you worry about it or not. So you might as well release the anxiety and receive what's meant for you with open arms. What helps with the Nine of Swords is bringing your fears into the light, talking about them, writing them down, and then consciously choosing not to let them run your life. You're stronger than your anxiety. You're more powerful than your doubts. And what's coming is bigger than your fears. The final card is Temperance, and honestly, this is the perfect card to complete your reading because it represents balance, harmony, integration, and divine timing. The angel in Temperance stands with 1 foot on land and 1 in water, pouring liquid between 2 cups in an endless flow. This represents the perfect blending of all elements, spiritual and material, emotion and logic, giving and receiving, patience and action. What this card is telling me is that everything we've seen in this reading, the emotional renewal, the mature blessings, the mental clarity, the karmic turning point, the conscious choices, the personal power, the necessary release, the overflowing grace, even the anxiety, all of it is being integrated into something balanced and sustainable. Your golden era isn't about extremes or unsustainable highs. This is about finding your center and building from there. Temperance represents the alchemical process of transformation, taking different elements and creating something entirely new and superior. You're not the same person you were 6 months ago, a year ago. You've been through the fire of transformation, the water of emotional healing, the air of mental clarity, the earth of practical application. And now you're emerging as this balanced, integrated, powerful version of yourself who is actually ready to receive and maintain the superior blessings coming your way. The angel's wings represent higher guidance and protection. You're being watched over. You're being guided. Even when things felt chaotic or uncertain, you were never alone. Divine timing has been at work, arranging everything perfectly. And that's why some blessings arrive at the last second, because they needed all the pieces to be in place first, including you being ready to receive them. What I'm picking up strongly as I close this reading is that you're entering a phase of your life where things just flow more easily, where you don't have to force or struggle so much, where opportunities come to you naturally, where you're in the right place at the right time more often. This is your golden era manifesting, not as one single event, but as an elevated way of living where you're aligned with your purpose, connected to your power, and open to receiving all the superior blessings the universe has been holding for you. Trust the timing, trust the process, trust yourself. Something absolutely magnificent is unfolding for you, Capricorn, and you're more than ready for it.